I often feel like I'm not doing enough, that I'm not studying enough, I'm not working enough, and basically I'm not dealing with my goals and I'm not pursuing them as efficiently and effectively as I could. And I often feel lazy, even if I am not lazy at all. I compare myself to people when I'm not supposed to do that, and when I don't have to compare myself to them. But what helps me in this situation is to remember that I can only compare myself and to my past self, because every day I try to become 1% better than I was yesterday. It doesn't have to be every day the same, because back then I thought that every day has to be the same to pursue my goals. Sometimes you will want to sleep more, or you won't have enough capacity to do this workout. This is okay, but you have to show up every single day for your goals, for your future self. If you don't feel like doing this 1 hour working out, try to do this for 20 minutes. If you don't want to start this project because you're so fearful and so scared that it won't come up as great and as perfect as you thought and as you imagined before, you just have to start. And when you start, you will get into this flow state and that you won't be able to stop. I know many people say that, come on, just start and then it will be much easier. And I used to say, and I'm saying to you as well, those things. And you might think that I can even start doing them. Like, it's hard for me to start doing the things. In this case, you will have to try some tricks to get you started on your project or on your tasks that you don't want to do. Give yourself an ultimatum if you wish. Say that I will give myself 3 minutes and to do this task. If I don't like it, I will quit. If I think that I'm not capable or I'm not uh, able to do this today, okay, I'll stop. But after this 3 minutes, you won't be able to stop, because you will already enter this flow state, and this flow state will last, depends on the person, but 20-30 minutes is an average. For me, this flow state was before for like 25 minutes before I start looking at the timer and thinking about other things. Now I can get in this flow state for easy for an hour and even more. I know that comparing yourself to others is one of the biggest problem and issues that people my age are encountering with, because it's so difficult to see all of these influencers and all of these beautiful girls, boys on the Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube that are looking so perfect and so beautiful, so immaculate. And you might think that they're looking like this all the time, but it's not true at all. Because I also get quite a few compliments, but you have to remember that I'm not looking like this all the time. Like, most of the time I try to look my best and to feel my best, and people might perceive this as I look like this all the time, but it's not the case, and it's not the case only about me. My beautiful friends who also look gorgeous and spectacular when I walk with them or have a stroll or go to a cafe with them, they're not looking like this all the time. And biggest secret from this, influencers on Instagram, Pinterest, and just beautiful girls and boys also don't look like this all the time. Your body is changing, especially if you're a teenager and your puberty just skyrockets up and down. Your hormone levels also skyrocket ups and just slumping down. It's normal. It's completely normal, because you're growing, you're changing, your organism, your body is completely changing, and you won't look the same as you looked at 10 years and at 60 years old. You won't be able to distinguish those two individuals. You will be completely different, mentally and physically. So you, of course, have to look after yourself. You have to work out, you have to do your skincare, your self-care routines, you have to study more, you have to educate yourself to be a more intelligent person. But of course, you do not have to drain yourself completely so that you become just a sociopath person that didn't want to go anywhere and want to stay in his or her comfort zone just because you're tired and you're exhausted of all of this. This links to watching those people or influencers that also show their life, how productive are they, how they wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and they work like all the day, they work out, they eat healthy. But also remember that it's not every day. Just imagine if every day looked the same as this day, where they eat healthy, they exercise. It wouldn't be that interesting at first, and it wouldn't be that real, because, as I already said, everything is changing constantly. The only thing that is constant in life is that everything always changing. You have to remember that you are beautiful. You are showing up for yourself if you're watching this video, and if you're watching self-help content, if you are trying to improve yourself, you are trying to read more, exercise more, and just educate yourself, you are already better than 99% of people. And on the point that you feel lazy and just indolent, even if you're doing all of these things, if you're constantly studying, but you still feel like you're not doing enough and you're not doing anything helpful to you. I also felt like this back then when I was studying literally all the day. I woke up at 6 a.m. I did my workout, I ate a healthy breakfast every day, the same breakfast. Then I studied for 3 hours with no rest. Sometimes I even just slept on the table just because I was so tired and exhausted. But I still pushed myself through this, and I had like an internal feeling that you're being productive and you're being like ahead of everybody. But in fact, when I saw that all of the people are getting the results from their studying, their working, even though they're going out with friends, they're going out with family, they have time for their hobbies, and I don't have them and I don't have any accomplishments, then I started questioning my approach to studying. Then I understood that the most important things in studying and in working, if you want to study on your highest potential and perform in your highest potential, you have to rest. When you feel that you really want to sleep, it's better to put off your chores for now and go have a nap for like 15 minutes. Then you will feel much more refreshed and you will be able to finish this task. But with one promise: this night you will get your 8 hours of sleep. Because guess what? Probably the last night you didn't get 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes the most obvious things are not really obvious to us, because we're so brainwashed, our brain basically, that we have to work, we have to study constantly, that sometimes we forget about these obvious things, like all humans need enough rest, all humans need enough of exercise, all humans need eat the right things and nourish our body, eat enough fruits, vegetables, protein, fats, carbohydrates, and just all of this external pressure from the outside world that we get right now, that we have to restrict our diet with don't eat any fats, any carbohydrates, to lose weight or for some reason. And when those things don't work, we start to question, why aren't they working? Or when some person says that you have to work for 12 hours to get some results, and When you don't have any results and you don't have any accomplishments, you start to question yourself whether this is working or not. But you forget the most important thing, that you forgot how to get those essential moments and essential factors that influence your productivity levels in your work and studying sessions. When I sit down and literally start to recall my childhood, when I literally loved cycling, I loved running, I loved drawing, creating new things, I got enough of rest, I was sleeping enough, and I was so happy and so positive all of the time. And I was just so immersed in my passion for design, for creating clothes, for basically creating new things, that I wasn't unstoppable. I was driven by my passion so hard. And it was without any sort of motivational videos or like motivational content on YouTube or internet. I just didn't know about this. This motivation that I got back then was just because I got the proper rest and the proper basic human needs fully, and my battery was completely charged. But for now, sometimes people just forget about those things, and I used to forget about them all the time before in the past. But now I'm, of course, not all of them, but I'm trying to get the proper sleep, get the proper mental health, and basically not to exhaust myself to the capacity that I cannot stand anymore, and I cannot do anything except for sleeping and laying. People say that you have to get out of your comfort zone, you have to push through, you have to study more, it's for your future, and I agree with them. But they don't say that you have to remember that there is your human needs that you have to fulfill, and they're not less important than your projects or your extracurricular activities or your deadlines. Please remember this and implement this. Thank you for watching this little small video. I hope you like it, and I hope you feel better right now. Please share your opinions in the comments down below, give me your thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.